Saudi Arabia cuts the July Arab Light OSP to Asia by 20 cents per barrel. More commentary from the Ford CFO as well, who says the tariff impacts related to steel would be small. 100% of steel and aluminium produced in the US, so that's 100% of steel and aluminium is produced in the US, according to the Ford CFO.
Alpha Omega down YM on the 5. Harmonic YM on the 1 on the 1. Fib.ym on the 1.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled. Exit.
Fib.ym on the 5.
So in 10 minutes time now at the bottom of the hour, do you see the start of the Bank of Canada press conference with their Governor Macklem? We also see the release of the weekly EIA inventories numbers. Crude oil inventories, the forecast is a draw of 3.128 million on the prior draw of 2.795 million. Gasoline
Order
inventories,
submitted.
forecast
Order
draw
filled.
0.5 million on the prior draw of 2.441 million. Distillate inventories, the forecast is a build of 0.171 million on the prior draw of 0.724 million. And crude Cushing inventories, the prior was a small build 0.075 million. Seeing from US Majority Leader Thune, says a state tax repeal is not likely in the Senate tax bill.
Order filled.
So we have posted out the live video for Bank of Canada's Governor Macklem's press conference on the feed for those interested. US Commerce Secretary Lutnick says USMCA goods have no tariffs.
Order filled.
So Lutnick there was responding to questions about Canada tariffs, again saying USMCA goods have no tariffs.
Target filled. Target filled. Target filled. Exit. Order canceled. Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted. Order filled.
So in 5 minutes' time now, at the bottom of the hour, we see the start of the Bank of Canada press conference with their Governor Macklem. The live video for this is on the feed. We also do get the release of the EIA weekly inventories numbers. Crude oil inventories, the forecast is a draw of 3.128 million on the prior draw of 2.795 million. The range sees a build of 1 million to a draw of 3.5 million expected. Gasoline inventories, the forecast is a draw of 0.5 million on the prior draw of 2.441 million. Distillate inventories, the forecast is a build of 0.171 million on the prior draw of 0.724 million. And crude Cushing inventories, the prior read was a build of 0.075 million.
Double delta EM on the 1. Alpha Omega down YM on the 5.
According to pricing documents, Saudi Arabia sets the July Arab Light crude oil OSP to Asia at plus $1.20 a barrel versus the Oman Dubai average.
Fib.ym on the 1.
Order filled. Order cancelled.
One minute remaining for the Bank of Canada press conference and the EIA crude oil inventories. I'll lead with those EIA crude inventories.
Fib.ym on the 1.
Order filled.
Ten seconds.
Target filled.
A draw of 4 spot 304 million, a draw of 4 spot 304 million. That's lower than the expected draw of 3 spot 128 million. Gasoline inventories, a build of 5 spot 219 million, a build of 5 spot 219 million. It's higher than the expected draw of 0 spot 5 million. Distillate inventories, a build of 4 spot 23 million, a build of 4 spot 23 million, higher than the expected build of 0 spot 171 million. And crude Cushing inventories saw a build of 0 spot 567 million, a build of 0 spot 567 million. So looking to WTI oil, did see a little bit of weakness, appears to be more of a whipsaw now.
Order cancelled.
Fib.ym on the 1.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick says we will protect the U.S. aerospace industry, citing 232. And U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick says, I expect other nations to play ball and negotiate tariffs.
Order submitted. Order filled.
And Commerce Secretary Lutnick says we will have 232 analysis on aircrafts by the end of the month.
Target filled.
DCDMYM on the 1.
Set aircraft tariffs by the end of the month.
Order submitted.
We
Exit.
have posted out the US EIA weekly inventories report on the feed for those interested.
Target filled.
Exit.
Enigma short on the YM1. Divergence down YM on the 5.
Brent crude futures edge lower. US oil futures pair gains as well after the EIA data shows larger than expected build in US fuel stocks, most notably here in gasoline and distillates. The Canadian dollar rising to 1.3673 per US dollar. That's a new high for this year.
Harmonic YM on the 1. Fib.ym on the 1.
Order submitted.
Enigma short on the YM1.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled.
US House Speaker Johnson speaks to reporters and said that Musk said on Monday that he'd help Republicans keep the House. The Canadian dollar strengthens to a near 8-month high at around 1.3667 per US dollar.
Target filled. Target filled.
Fib.ym on the 5.
And Speaker Johnson says that Musk is dead wrong on his tax bill opposition.
Fib.ym on the 1.
And Bank of Canada's Macklem says we will be looking carefully at the next 2 CPI reports. So Macklem currently speaking at the press conference where we do have the live video on the feed.
Harmonic YM on the 1. Fib.ym on the 1.
Order submitted.
Harmonic YM on the 5.
And Bank of Canada's Governor Macklem says there is some underlying
Fib.ym
volatility in
on the 1.
inflation. I don't want to focus too closely on 1 month's data. Commerce Secretary Lutnick says I wouldn't remove tariffs and barriers reciprocally. And US Commerce Secretary Lutnick is asked what the US would do if Vietnam drops all tariffs. Again, says wouldn't remove tariffs and barriers reciprocally.
Order cancelled.
US House Speaker Johnson just reiterates the July 4th tax bill deadline will be met.
Order submitted.
Harmonic YM on the
Order
1.
submitted.
And US Commerce Secretary Lutnick says now we're talking if Vietnam
failed.
doesn't buy from China. Gold rises 1%. Bank of Canada's Governor Macklem says remarks about the need for possible future rate cuts is not forward guidance, referring to the rate statement there.
Divergence up YM on the 5.
Order submitted. Order filled.
And Bank of Canada Senior Deputy Governor Rogers says the recent strengthening of the Canadian dollar has had some effect on inflation. US Commerce Secretary Lutnick says that Trump chose the International Emergency Economic Powers Act because it's quick and sweeping.
Target filled. Target filled.
Order submitted.
Enigma short on the YM1.
Target.
of
Target
Canada's
fi-
Governor
target
Macklem says the
filled.
economy is somewhere between the scenarios outlined in April.
Harmonic YM on the
Macklem
1.
says that since the April outlook, the likelihood of the bank's more severe scenario appears to have come down somewhat.
Exit.